I healed from that and I had my second premature baby, I finally got, my butt into gear. That blood clot was like another little tap. It was like a nudge for my dad, like, you have to get healthy.
Right.
You're not going to be around to see your kids.
Hi, welcome to another episode of Mom Does It All. If you're looking for encouragement, empowerment, and uplifting in motherhood and mompreneurship, this is a show for you. I'm Marta Spurk, your host, triplet mom, certified success coach, and all things motivation extraordinaire. In today's episode, I'll be chatting with Misty Stachel. She's a nutrition and lifestyle coach, a group fitness instructor, and a yoga teacher, and of course, a mama. We'll be talking about starting with small changes in your lifestyle to see big results, and how she's gone through this journey herself. Let's dig in. Hi, Misty. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited to hear your story again. It's such a powerful story, and I'm sure many people will relate and feel the emotion behind it when you talk about how you turned a bad experience into a positive and amazing message, especially now becoming a health and fitness coach. So start from the beginning. Go ahead.
All right. So it starts off when I'm 9 years old and I lose my dad to a massive heart attack while we are camping.
Wow.
It's one of those experiences that you kind of never forget. And in a moment, you are kind of all back in that moment again. So we're camping and he starts having problems. He's not really complaining of chest pain, but he's just kind of disoriented, moving around, like we know something's wrong. My stepmom was running around trying to see if anyone could help, but so much time was passing. I did speak up and try to say something wasn't right, but I was kind of asked at that moment to not be a part of it, which I understand now. It's a stressful situation,
Right.
And you're just trying to figure out everything that's happening. So eventually we go to bed and we get woken up by the police calling our names.
Oh, wow.
So I pretty much knew then that something horrible had happened. They were not there. So we drove from Sedona to Flagstaff because there's not medical care for that type of thing in Sedona. So we drove further north where the hospital was, and my grandma actually was there when we arrived. So then that's like when you really start to know, like,
Oh, wow.
like things are not good.
Mm-hmm.
So he never made it to the hospital. They called 911 from a gas station in Sedona, and he made it on an ambulance, but he had already passed before like we had got there. So hard to deal with as a 9-year-old.
Definitely.
And as, life progressed, I definitely dealt with emotional eating and just trying to be understood, because nobody really understands what that's like at 9 years old. No, a lot of people didn't believe me because they saw I had a stepdad. So they thought I lied about it. So there was a lot of like emotional eating, but thankfully my mom had put me in dance. So I had that as an outlet. I stayed with that for years. And my nutritional habits didn't change, but dance helped me. And so I stayed with dance all the way up until my freshman year of college at ASU, where I was in the dance program, but decided that it wasn't going to be for me. And I kind of stopped dancing at that point, but I kept eating. So food is good. And, I mean, like when I was dancing, I could eat like 3 Big Macs a day.
Oh, wow.
You wouldn't know because I didn't look like I
right
today. So as the years, the next couple years go on from that, I started to gain weight. And by the time I had my first kid, I was up 60 plus pounds.
Wow.
So I had him prematurely, and it's just something my body just can't carry. I actually had both of my kids prematurely, almost to the exact same like day. So my body just says, no more, goodbye. And I have to deliver. So I had my first kid, and 2 months after that, I had a really bad headache, and I'm not someone who gets headaches. So I kind of tried everything. I went and got a massage, ibuprofen. I had a friend kind of give me like a chiropractic adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
And that night I went to bed and I woke up and I was disoriented and I was puking, and the headache was even worse, like the worst headache of my life. And in that moment, I had this flashback of my dad around the campfire, stumbling, unable to just like in a lot of pain. And I knew that I needed to go to the ER. So here we are at 3 a.m. and I'm telling my husband, like, you need to get up right now.
Oh, wow.
You need to go. And he's like, we're going to the ER for a headache at 3 a.m. Because you're kind of like, are you serious right now? And he wanted to golf in the morning, so it wasn't like ideal timing. So here we are with our 2-month-old baby and me in the ER, and we find out that I have massive blood clots.
Oh my.
So I was immediately transferred to a better hospital where I stayed in ICU for 5 days, and thankfully blood thinners were able to kind of cure that. But that all kind of came because I have a clotting disorder that I don't know. I didn't know that I had at the time, plus pregnancy hormones. So that's one of those gifts that you get from your parents. Someone's got it.
Right.
It comes down. Both of my kids actually have it. So I've had them tested. So from there, after I kind of dealt with that, I knew what I was looking at with having another kid. So although I wanted to lose weight, I knew that time was of the essence.
Right.
So within the next, couple years, I had another kid. But in order for me to have another kid, you have to get blood thinner shots every single day in your stomach while you're pregnant to avoid getting blood clots.
Right.
It's not like ideal, but like I dealt with it and I did it. So after I healed from that and I had my second premature baby, I finally got, my butt into gear. That blood clot was like another little tap. It was like a nudge for my dad. Like, you have to get healthy.
Right.
Or you're not going to be around to see your kids.
Right.
So, and my dad had a lot of stress. He was a business owner. He chain smoked. I'm not sure his eating habits were the best. Definitely didn't exercise. All of those things are like the perfect storm for a massive heart attack. So I finally started getting into gear. My husband and I had gotten a Fitbit for Valentine's Day. It was like our gift to each other. And that's kind of like how we started our journey of losing weight. I joined gym. I got excited about the classes because I'm a social person and I love to be around other people. So I did that for the next few years. And I lost, pretty much most of the weight at this point when I decided that I really want to help people. Like that is my calling. Yes. So I became a group fitness instructor. And, they continued to see my transformation. And still sometimes when I post that transformation, they have no idea. They've known me for the past 2 years, but like over the last 5, I've lost 70 pounds.
Wow.
So people can relate to that. They can, I'm not someone who's been skinny my whole life.
Right.
So it's just more relatable.
Yes.
And to a lot of the people who come to the gym. And so after, teaching group fitness classes for a while, I decided I want to help people even further with the nutrition coaching and anything that I can provide them in their home life that is going to really help them make the changes.
Right.
So that's kind of, how it happens, but really I have my dad to thank for all that because he keeps just coming into my life even if he's not here and just giving me those little taps and nudges to keep going.
Yes. Oh, it's such a powerful story. And even when you were talking about him nudging you, it gave me chills because, sometimes we have traumatic experiences like that help us move forward. And sometimes things like that don't happen and we don't have that click of, I have to make a change in my life. And I've been talking a lot about lately about turning your passion into a business, into, working with something that is really passionate, that you're really passionate about. And this is exactly it for you. And on such a deep level, because of the experience that you had with your dad, and also understanding that it's not a matter of how you look or how much you weigh. It really boils down to, are you going to be around for your family? So that's something that, if anything that we get out of your story, which I know there's more to it, is you have to think about the future. And I think that once we have kids, that's something that comes up a lot more, because we're like, all right, I'm not going to be here forever. So, and the longer I can be, the better. And so we have to think about that. And not only in terms of the weight, but other health scares that could happen. So the healthier you are, the more aware you are of your health and of your body, the better chances you have of being healthy and being around your kids. So that's such an important message. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you. Yeah. And, your weight, although it's not like the end all be all, but just that extra baggage that you're carrying around, it may not be the reason why you get sick, but it's a contributing factor to why you're getting sick.
Definitely.
So you definitely have to look at that. And that's why you focus on those healthier choices of how to fuel your body.
Mm-hmm. And the whole emotional aspect of it, I feel like lots of women can relate to that, especially moms, because we're just dealing with stress all of the time with, handling the household, if you have a full-time job or not, or just, raising kids, period. And we don't realize that there is a reason behind the eating, the overweight, right? And so that's such an important point too. Why are you overeating? What is behind that? And obviously you had a traumatic experience that, contributed to that as well. But it's important to look back and to understand. And that's something that I've always been talking about lately is, why are you doing the things that you're doing right now? What is the reason behind it? And kind of like reflecting so that you can change, right? And for the better. So I really love that. And it's such an important message for sure. And also one thing that you said is that when people see you right now, they might think, oh, she's been skinny her whole life. She's teaching fitness. It comes easy for her, but nobody knows the story behind, right? Everything that you went through. And so that's super important too, to not judge the book by its cover and to understand that there's a journey there. And I remember when we chatted earlier, you said that life is a marathon and not a sprint. Can you talk a little bit about that?
So I say that a lot, and I say that a lot in group fitness classes too, because so often people are looking for the quick fix. So if people do know I've lost weight and they want to know how I did it, I kind of joke around with them because I'm not sure they really want to know the real answer. So usually my line is, oh, it's all the drugs I'm doing. Because, everyone wants that tomorrow I've lost 30 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not the program I offer. It's not the program I sell. This is about changing your life, your lifestyle. And it takes more than a month or even 3 months or even a year. It took me 5 years to lose the weight because I wanted it to be sustainable. I wanted to still be here now and not wondering how I ended up back 70 pounds plus. So that's kind of where the marathon is, taking each day by day, hour by hour. And if you have a meal that maybe wasn't your best choice, not turning that into a 3-month binge fast.
Right.
Kind of getting back to it and just taking it for the long haul and less of tomorrow I want to be in that bikini and I want to look my best.
Right. So you have to have that long-term mentality, especially because of everything that we just said. You're not doing this just to look good for a trip. Yeah. You're doing this because you want to be healthy forever. And, for as long as you're here, and make that the most as possible so that you can be around your kids.
And I can tell you that when I was in that hospital bed with those blood clots, for the first, from even in the ER to the transfer to the new hospital, and anyone who super is close to me knows this, I was asking every medical professional if I was going to live.
Oh, wow.
Because I had no idea. And guess what? Nobody could tell me.
Right.
Nobody knew. And I had a 2-month-old baby.
My.
So it really starts to put your life in perspective.
Yes.
When you don't know if tomorrow's coming.
Right. That is so powerful. And I feel like having a loss in the family really puts things into perspective, and going through an experience like that yourself is like the biggest wake-up call. The closest person that I've had pass away recently was my father-in-law. He had melanoma, and so he passed away from cancer. And he met my triplets at 9 months old, and to this day, I just feel like, they're never going to really know him. We have pictures and stuff, but his lively personality and all of that, like, they're not going to grow up with that. And it's just so sad. And it's things like that, you can't really control. Cancer is just one of those things that you just, there's nothing you can do about it. But still, it brings things into perspective, like, okay, I'm not going to be here forever, just like what we said. So we really have to think about what we're doing right now, because that's going to determine tomorrow. And all we have is today anyways. And another thing that I wanted to talk about is from a business perspective. And what I love so much about fitness is because it's so intertwined with all other aspects of life, right? Your just motherhood and also entrepreneurship. Because all of it is like what we're saying, it's a marathon. It's not tomorrow that everything is going to, be the best and you're going to hit the top. It's every day taking those little steps. Can you tell us a little bit about the business side of things as a health coach?
Yeah, it's one of those journeys. And I think every entrepreneur kind of goes through this, like, things are great. Do I know what I'm doing? I'm good. It's like somewhat of a roller coaster, but
it is.
I just really wanted to be able to help people and for them to just have more food knowledge and more food awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And because most people, if they don't even know what their food is, if it's a protein or a carb or a fat. So if you don't even know some of those basics, you don't know how to feel your body, because you don't know what you're doing yet. So that's kind of, my business side of things is, really just helping people from beginning to end with their journeys. We do weekly calls. They kind of track their food through My Fitness Pal, so they can start to gain understanding of.
Nice.
Yeah. Yes. Peanut butter does have protein in it, but it's a fat. And it seems so simple, but so many people think that's the protein.
Right.
And it's majority of fat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
and that's so interesting to me, because you started out as a fitness instructor. Well, you started out going to the gym, and then you realized, oh, I will be a fitness instructor because I want to pass this on to people. And then because your biggest struggle was with nutrition up until that point, even though, you're a dancer and all of that, then this is what you have been doing, is helping people understand, because this is something that you struggled with before. And correct me if I'm wrong, but that's the pattern that I'm seeing there.
And some of it starts with you as a parent. You need to learn how to feel your own body properly.
Yes.
One of the things that I can remember is no one ever really teaching me how to eat.
Right.
Sure, food was on the table, but we never talked about it.
Right.
We never talked about what it was and what it does for your body. And even in school, do you ever have?
No.
They don't go over that.
No.
And here we are, and we have children who are obese, and we have people who are obese.
Yeah.
And yes, French fries taste awesome, but what is it doing for you?
Right.
And there is a place for everything in your life. I definitely say balance, because otherwise you're not going to make it.
Right.
But you have to have majority of food that your body needs.
Yes. And that's so important. Just, especially from a parent, like the perspective of a parent, you have to educate and teach your kids, because this is what you're passing on. Especially, we're talking about being around for them and all of that, but you're also setting an example. So that's something we need to remember as well, so that when they are adults, they're going to remember what you did and be like, no, I know the right path, and take it as well.
Whether they want to or not.
Yes, exactly. I love that. Awesome. So let's go ahead and tell us, what is your biggest advice for the moms that are listening to us now? I know we have so many, so just great points here already, but just summing it up, and then tell us how we can find you, what resources that you have, and all of that.
My biggest advice, you know, in the fitness health area is just to start taking a look at your daily life. And seeing where you can make areas of improvement, because I don't care who you are. And if you're super fit and in shape, there's probably something in your life that you could be doing just a little bit better, whether it's drinking more water or getting more sleep. All those things, they really matter. Those two things in general, if you don't do those two things, you are going to feel like crap. It's not going to matter what you're eating or what you're doing. Because you're going to not feel good. So I say just start taking a look at your life and just seeing how you can improve in your daily life. And, you know, find motivation. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and, you know, I read a lot of books to, you know, that help me stay focused and motivated on my own personal goals, whether it be through just like self-help development or my business side. I'm constantly seeking more information. And I also have a support group. So I have a group of 2 other women that we get together to talk about the business side of things. There's entrepreneurs out there, and we push each other to do things. Like I just put out a 4-week Stronger Core program that I sold out. And I wasn't even going to maybe do it, but they pushed me to put it out there.
Nice.
So that's kind of how that group operates. It's great when you need someone to kind of give you a little kick in the rein sometimes. And how you can find me is, you know, I'm very active on Facebook and Instagram, and it's the same name, but it's Mind, Body, and Health by Misty.
Nice.
So that's kind of how you can find me.
Okay, awesome. And I love that about the accountability. That's what makes the whole difference, right? When you have someone that you're accountable to and someone that's pushing you, that's so important. That's the whole aspect, not only for health and fitness, but for your business, for anything, even motherhood. If you have someone you can talk to and that can hold you accountable, that makes all of the difference.
I agree.
All right, Misty, this was great. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I am so glad that we connected, and I know several moms are going to benefit from listening to you and be encouraged to make a change. I am so happy you joined me today for another episode. What did you think? Are you encouraged to get healthier for the new year? Connect with me and Misty on Instagram, share your thoughts, and don't forget to give the show a 5-star rating and a quick review so we can reach more mamas and encourage and empower them, because moms can really do it all. Until next time, bye.